All right. Bay Baw. Reason I say Bay Baw, B-A-E Baw, is because it's a black screen, is because this team is finally going to do it. This team is going to earn our collective love. You notice how it says we're the best team in Bay Baw? It's because I think we will be. And it is because I finally got desperate enough. And we finally went forward with roster optimization. Allow me to elaborate. At starting pitcher, it's as you would expect, right? We brought back Jason Gill, at least for the year, on a qualifying offer. That's all well and good. We DFA'd Montanez to get rid of that cap hit because he was pretty trash. Our starting rotation is pretty strong. It's more so about player performance than it is about overall, though. And of course, we do have some people in the pipeline, but they're a bit of a ways away, right? But we're still looking okay. We're looking okay. In terms of relievers, we did the same thing. If somebody was under 20 stamina, I moved them to closer. Otherwise, they are a reliever. And of course, like Jose Irizarry was a major, major part of our playoff success last year. Going to say he was immense to our success, but that doesn't quite work. Of course, we drafted Ricky Hoff, Raul Maraville, Ozzy Esposito in the past couple years. We're feeling pretty good. Rafael Torrero as well. We got some good project relievers. Had to sign a couple of options. How far did we go in the playoffs? Won the wild card, lost in the ALDS. And then at closer, Espinoza. Howie is back. This is how we do it, which is beautiful. But yeah, pitching-wise, we're good. And then I was poking around and discovered that for certain players, there used to be a stat that is not there anymore. Reaver, yes, it is. It's by Faith No More. There used to be an attribute for catchers that does not exist in the game anymore. Mills, hello. As my phone is dying. Interesting. Blocking no longer exists. Meaning, you can move players to catcher from any other position. So we have done an entire reset on this roster because I am desperate to win. So what we did was we started in the outfield and we said we want a fast outfield. So anybody 70 speed or up is an outfielder. The stronger arms are in center. So in right field, it is Charles Rivas and Ivan Pena. You got Luis Mortero. I don't remember if he used to be an outfielder, and we had to sign a random dude, Pablo Ibarra, to help fill out the roster. So really, we have 3 right fielders. In center, our former shortstop, Mr. Fritas. As we go full Jazz Chisholm, with Fritas moving him from shortstop to center field because look at those goddamn attributes. He is going to be an absolute monster in center field. We do still have DJ Liss there as well. Albert Werdekemper in center field because he's fast as hell and has a good arm. We have Jack Gaudio, and then we had to sign Fernandez. But yeah, that is one of the big changes. George Freitas has been moved to center field because, oh my God. In left is Tim Coe, who, yeah, I know, that dude at the bottom is a 13. How is that even possible, right? Who knew? Tim Coe, of course, was a former center fielder. Doesn't have much of a cannon of an arm, but has damn good power and speed, so we're going to have him try to evolve as a starter. Eduardo Reyna, formerly a second baseman, is there, and Chris Delgadio as well. We obviously have more changes, right? Shout out to It's Batman Forever. What's going on? Shortstop, former center fielder and left fielder Ramon Hinojosa is now here, but so is former right fielder Rick McCann. And McCann will be the starter. His attributes, in my opinion, are best set for him to be a shortstop, and the game agrees. He is a higher overall at shortstop. And Esteban Guzman, who I believe used to be a right fielder as well, if not a third baseman. So some big changes. I said I didn't want to do it this way, but again, we're desperate. So we have moved outfielders to the infield and vice versa. We have Roger Reese, another former outfielder, and Peter Edmonds, and Roman Hahn, who I believe is drafted as a second baseman. Third base is now Israel Gutierrez, who has the great reaction and fielding time. Doesn't really have too much speed, but at third, he shouldn't really need it. Also there is Joe Dale, who has been there the whole time, and former corner outfielder Thomas Gaucho, who actually finds himself in AAA. Casey Roberson, former shortstop, he's now a third baseman. Doesn't quite have the reaction time, but it was still probably for the best for him to be a third baseman. And then Carter, Ronan Lowry, Chris Clements was a catcher who just sucks at everything. Second base is the former third baseman, Ricky Gutierrez, which again, looking at these options, you could argue maybe it's better for Israel to be there instead. But regardless, we have the Gutierrez brothers who are ready to go. I saw that Cardinals loss. At least I heard about the choke. Ken Hahn, our former left fielder, now backup second baseman. Then you got Cortez, the veteran. You got Leon, Lewis McCall, Patrick Roberts in the mix as younger players. First base is still Vince Messer and a whole lot of people. Sixto's still there, but we have moved over Fodor and Lopez from catcher because look at their defensive stats. Terrible. You got George Uribe as well, who's honestly not that bad. Harvey Grove, former catcher. Quite a few guys in here who probably won't make it, so it's like, just put him at first base. It's fine. And then the big one, at catcher, Pablo Ramirez. Doesn't quite have a cannon of an arm, but has tremendous reaction time. Goes up to an 88 overall as a catcher, and former third-string first baseman, now backup catcher, Maurice Burnett. With David Sung down in AAA, you got the Fish, and then Sato, Mesa, and Ross Colon. We have really changed the entire outlook of this team out of pure desperation. But again, if the Marlins can move Jazz around, then why can't I move people around? This team, though, looks competent, which means we'll probably suck. But I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best. And then lineup-wise, I mean, this team should do so incredibly well. We have very good depth on the bench. I mean, man, if this isn't it, you know? If this isn't it, if this isn't the team to make it, I don't know what version of a team we could make to have this finally happen. We also have a lot of people on the top prospects list. This was the generational talent in the last draft for Kansas City. Crash Andrews, you sweet, beautiful, handsome Mandrews. Hello. How are you? We have Albert Werder-Kemper, top 5, which, yeah, looking very solid, the Canadian. We have Ozzie Esposito, who we just drafted, again, who was a closer. We changed him over to a reliever because of the stamina. We also have Andreas Mesa, the catcher, who, still a bit of a project. Raul Maraville, another reliever that we picked up in the last 2 years. And Wayland Hendricks, the starter. It's also on the list at number 40. I mean, Jesus, one of these years has to be the year, and I hope it's this one. I hope it's this one. Oh, my God. AAA lineup-wise, that's right. We were just going to let it be its own deal. Same for AA. We'll see what happens. If we lose, move to Montreal. Mac, what's going on? All right, scouting-wise. Now, we were tempted to fire our scouts after missing out on some people last year. The problem is there are still no better scouts out there that we could pick up, really. Yeah, so we're stuck with them out of pure desperation. We have, are we 4th now on the list? Yeah, we are, instead of 1st. People must not have finished their call-up. Still, 4th, not bad. 23rd pick. Oh, we're fucked. In terms of having a good draft here, we are probably boned. Honestly, I might be grabbing a white Hitman jersey, 2000s era for like 45, but damn! And selling it to me, right? Dude, if this was the Japanese run and Hideo Yabu was from New York, I would cry. Literally cry. And Granny's projected 40th. Is it worth? I don't know if it is. Is it worth doing general scouting across the board? I don't know. I am tempted. Crash, you did. But again, outside of pure necessities, wedding fund, you know? That's the big issue. I've had to pass on some hockey jersey related purchases. Gladly, by the way. Stick scouting on auto and just roll. You're not wrong. I do at least want to see how good these guys are. Wedding gift a hockey jersey. I mean, hey, it'd be fitting, wouldn't it? All right. Ooh. Okay, so Vincent Shawn is the real deal. There's just no way he'll be available for us later on in the draft. Not a chance. Like I said, I do like to look for these players that just randomly have good potentials. But at the same time, there doesn't appear to be that many of them this year. There's Milt Martin. We have Enrique Palacios. And nothing else. Second base, Kevin Eckert. Kevin Eckert. I think we will eventually just kind of go for it scouting-wise, but for now, honestly, auto scouting might be the way. We might try it. Maybe for the rest of this draft, we just put it on auto and see what the hell our scouts can do, where it's just like, fuck it. You go right ahead. You're in charge. Don't blow it. It's not great. That's my fear, is that they're absolutely terrible. And I can essentially do a version of auto scouting that is admittedly a little bit more hands-on. It's not fully automated, but I would rather just do like the region-based scouting. I did not see who just got hurt. And we just lost our ace for a month or two with a fractured wrist. We're also 11-11. Oh, that's a potentially generational first baseman right there. Honestly, we haven't been off to the best start this season. We really haven't been. We really haven't been. You've seen how the AI scouts for other teams. That's a fair point. That's one way to scare me off of attempting the idea. Hey, yeah, you remember how the AI scout for themselves? Oh, yeah, you're right. Now we're definitely not doing that. Oof, we are... It's early, man, but we're still playing 500 ball. And it's looking like a pretty decent year for closers. We might be stuck taking relievers for the foreseeable future. We might. All right, what about outright relievers? Anybody with those good starting OVRs? Oh boy, there's Charles Varela. Let's look at him. Look at him. There you go, boys. Start winning some games here. Thank you, thank you. It's no longer cute to see you losing. Like, we need to make some progress here. Get that higher seed again. Did auto scouting get a 75, 99 potential? I mean, that's the thing, that you would hope the scouts would have found them, and I would predict that that guy was expected to be drafted pretty high. Like, about time that the MLB projection had that guy at like 162, and your scouts are like, nope, he's generational, then I'd say it was probably worth it. All right, and then for starters, Eric Chavez, Athletics legend. We can look at Velasquez, too. We can look at Velasquez as well. 15th pick. That's when generational talents seem to go. I mean, that's when we saw Justin Brown go to Oakland. That is just when they seem to get drafted. Let's see. Do we have anybody else? A lot of 65 to 99. There was Barry Lewis. Anybody else? Yusnel Espinoza. Also Daryl Chambers, who has a pretty good chance of being a B. A lot of injuries in the AAA lineup this year, and we are back to 500. That is not ideal. We are right back to 500 on the season. Experience Pittsburgh baseball. We have hope. We have expectations. So, of course, we're not going to live up to them at all, right? I want to look at these guys who are unprojected to be drafted because you never know. We might have a chance of finding a steal there. Our draft picks are so late this year, we're going to be best guessing most of the way anyway. Yeah, none of them are worth it. Team's still figuring out their new positions. You know, I mean, that would be one thing if, yeah, that was actually a factor. And who knows, maybe there is something behind the scenes in the game that causes that. That would be something, though. Let's see, a lot of 65 to 99. Anybody above that? 69 to 93, Tovar. Let's look at him. Anybody else? Ooh, Owen Harmon. Owen Harmon. That guy looks promising. All right, we are 3 games under 500. Oh my God. Wow, Owen Harmon's gonna have a great dude. This guy's the guy. Jesus. That is definitely someone we'll be looking at. Do we have anybody else in the mix here? Before I try to get some generalized scouting done. I still don't know what the full approach will be in terms of said generalized scouting. There's a lot of 65 to 99s projected later on. And there's Harmon. Whole lot of 65 to 99s in starting pitching. So what we will do is we will focus on the starting pitching. Why not? Good way to go about it. We got a few weeks left. Before we move on. Okay, so Grant Riley hasn't been great. Dixon, Russell Hiller, last year's Rookie of the Year, is struggle bussin'. Trujillo and Alan Dyer have all been dire. Oh my God. FIP doesn't save any of you. Yep. Okay, so our starting pitching has been abysmal. Grant Riley's been the best of the bunch. Well, and Jason Gill's still out for 1 to 2 weeks. He was doing fantastic. Dixon's at least, like, salvageable. But, like, these 3 gotta go. Trujillo would have to be put through waivers. So would Dyer. Hiller wouldn't. Screw it. Screw it. Who has been the best in AAA? Okay, call-ups and send-downs have happened. Was that a 115? It was. He might have been a draft bust, but Ronaldo Garcia is somehow looking like he's going to make it here. I'm going to remove Chris Delgadio from the 40-man and hope that he clears. Same for David Sung, now that he's a third string. Eckert's already on the 40-man. Cool. Ruben Eckert, welcome. Ronaldo Garcia, welcome. Do we go with Fabregas? I think we go with Daryl Williamson. I think we go with Daryl. So Trujillo to AAA. Dyer to AAA. Hiller to AAA. And we hope for the best. Is the only way we can go about it. A AAA roster's hurting right now, though, for players. To the point where I do have to call somebody up. Let's go for Chris Holman. There we go. So not what I was expecting to have to do, but desperate times call for desperate measures. That'll be the new rotation. Outrageous. But we're desperate. Let's see. Ooh, Espinoza has been dreadful so far. Shout out to the Oilers who just tied it. Well, out of pitchers, Diego Espinoza's been the worst one. We can send him down. It was Draisaitl again? Jesus. AAA is phenomenal numbers for Jose Lima. We do have to take somebody else off the 40-man. Let's go for the third baseman, Sergio Cortez. He's injured, so I can't. That's not good. We'll go for Esteban Guzman, just to see if he clears. And we will send Espinoza down to AAA for Jose Lima. Draisaitl is like the most clutch playoff performer in the NHL right now. It's insane. He and Rupe Hintz. All right, Jose Lima, welcome in. Lineup-wise, 299 for Fritas, 241 for Ko, only 10 home runs. Is there anybody who's been abysmal? No, lineup-wise, we're generating offense. Hinojosa's done pretty well at shortstop. We'll stick with it. We'll stick with it. All right, so again, starting pitching is the scouting. Why don't we have 4 valid lineups? I didn't mess with the lineup. What do you mean we don't have 4 valid lineups? I mean, no DH is whatever. Hello? Oh, good, you're glitched. Oh, good. 'Tis glitched. Thanks. And Vegas just scored. Well, let's go auto-fix lineup, and then I got to make sure the lineup's still the way that I want it. And it looks to be, so that's good. That was weird. Instantly a better week. Coincidence, perhaps. Let's scout out international pitchers. You could argue that didn't help that much. It just moved a lot of people up to 67.98. Damn it. Whatever. Let's just keep scouting pitchers. Let's just keep scouting pitchers. I don't even care. DH is in the game, yes. It's a universal DH spot. And no, none of our pitchers can hit. All right, let's switch that over to East. Get one more week of this in there. 4 games above 500. All right, we got 2 weeks of scouting left. If Yusniel Espinoza falls to us at pick number 23, that could be pretty damn good. Honestly, let's just keep going for starters, whatever. Especially with how some of our starters have failed this season. This is the right time for me to try to get some steals at starting pitcher in this draft. So we have one more scouting session. One more scouting session to go. One more. LOL Oilers. Ooh! It found us Chad Jones. Oh, this is the year. This is the year to look at these starters 100%. This is the year. Oh my. We'll randomly look at third baseman Carlos Pedroza. And who else was up there? Looks like a first baseman, Jack Booker. This has the potential to be another very, very good draft for us. It really does. Really, really does. It really, really does. Let's go ahead and get that save in there because, again, we never want to have to rescout, especially with how this is looking. The 2041 draft, we did just suffer an injury beforehand. How the hell are we in the 2040? I've said this every year for like the past 10 years now, is how the hell are we in this draft? And well, here's your answer. We're picking 23rd. It's San Diego, Arizona, and Cleveland. San Diego, Arizona, and Cleveland. And San Diego will select first baseman Freddie McDermott. Yeah, no surprise. No surprise at all that that guy's off the board early. Good on the Padres scouts for recognizing that he is basically a slam dunk pick, right? Good on him. Let's see. Arizona with the second overall pick. Take first baseman Alexi Vasquez. Oh, that's a panic move. They thought that other first baseman would be there, so they took Vasquez way off the board, thinking he's the next best first baseman. That looks like a panic move from Arizona. We'll see what happens. We will see. We will see. But that looks like a panic move. And we round out with the Guardians, who select center fielder Vincent Chon, who does look like he could be absolutely fantastic. So with that, I'm not going to get my hopes up that anyone will be on the board at 23. Let's go ahead and sim to our pick. That dude was projected 47th, 78th, 21st. Raul Gonzalez, Pedroza's gone. Jack Booker, Dempsey was projected 7th. Chavez. Is that starting pitcher we were looking at still available? Joey Handy. What a great name. Ooh, 52nd projection for Dwight Condo. Quite a few off the board picks. All right, who's available to us here? So our scouts still absolutely love Yusnel Espinoza. And you can see why. You can see why. There's also TJ Blankenship, Alonzo Lindstrom, Chad Jones for later on. Maybe even Eddie McCann as a starter. Son of Kenny Blankenship. The most extreme elimination challenge. Espinoza, 19 years old. Definitely won't be available with the next pick, nor will TJ Blankenship. 80 to a 94 in Lindstrom, 84 to a 99 for Jones. But again, hopefully he'll be available with our next pick. There's also McCann, who's projected way off the board, and James. We might get some steals here, but there's no doubt. There's no doubt. It has to be. It has to be. And if this guy isn't elite, then my God. And yeah, we've gotten the closing help over the last few years. We are no doubt taking the Dominican Yusnel Espinoza with the 23rd overall pick. Our scouts may have found a gem and a half. Now, the hope is our next pick is way down at number 60. We hope to see Chad Jones. Like, really hope to see Chad Jones. If not, we want McCann or James. Let's see what happens. Chad Jones, projected to be undrafted. Our scouts say he's the 7th best player in this draft. And we're going to trust him. You could say try the double, but I think we could try the double and trying to get Eddie McCann in the 3rd round. And actually, we only have to wait 14 picks. We're definitely taking Chad Jones here. And then hopefully Eddie McCann's available with that next pick. If our scouts are right about these two starters, then we are almost future-proofed. And McCann is still on the board, who our scouts say is the 13th best player in this draft. This is the chance to redeem themselves. We take 3 starters, Espinoza, Jones, and McCann. Are the scouts correct? Is the question. We have to wait until pick 97 to see who's left. These are all the players who were scouted. I know Corey Trejo is hurt, but that's not really going to scare me off. Trejo's already there. Okay, shit, that's it. So in terms of scouted players, that's all we have left. Otherwise, we're already going off the board with 65 to 99s. So Trejo's a 73 to a 98. No real way of knowing. 79 to 94 for Medina. I wonder why our scouts like Trejo so much. Projected 47th. Only 50% scouted, though. Medina's 100% scouted. This dude's 71 to 93. 80 to 94 for Terrell Ford. He's going to have a super low overall, but a very good potential. And then 81-91 Damon Page is going to have the same issue. We're going to go for Thomas Medina. We're going to take another starter who wasn't projected to be drafted. Our scouts say he should have gone in the top 60. Thomas Medina. I know you're injured, but I'm willing to risk it. And with that, 2 players left. We're going for the first baseman, Terrell Ford. Rather than best guess, we at least know that he looks all right. Round 5 will be the reliever, Damon Page, son of Diamond Dallas. Did Draisaitl just scored again? Fuck's sake. He can't stop. He's doing his best Joe Pavelski tribute. And in round 6, it's going to be best guess. It's not looking good in that department. It's either Dave DeLuca or Dave Gonzalez. We already took a first baseman in this draft. Let's take a catcher. Let's go for Dave Gonzalez with the pick. I choose you, Dave Gonzalez. There's a chance this just worked out very well. There is a chance. Home Run Derby, we did not have Messer representing us. Carlos Quezada, the Tampa phenom, is leading the majors in home runs. Justin Brown, of course, is still there. Juan Guerrero. It's been 5 seasons since you've been in Pittsburgh. And more often than not, you've been pretty damn good and actually didn't decline in overall. You hate to see it. All-Star representatives this year. Who do we got? Yeah, I was going to say, I can't really imagine we have any starters based off of what we were seeing. Stevie Varela has made it. 68 strikeouts already on the season. Very, very good. In terms of outright relievers, nobody else. Nobody at catcher. Messer back as an all-star at first base. Already on 74 RBIs. And nobody else. Just 2 all-stars, Messer and a reliever. That's a little bit scary. Let's focus on these draft picks. Yusnel Espinoza. Buddy, I think you and me are about to be the best of friends. Never mind, he declined the first offer. Chad Jones. Signs. Beautiful. What about Thomas Medina? Declines. Buddy, you're injured and I still drafted you. You have the audacity to decline. What about Damon Page? Damon Page signs. Yeah, Messer's batting average is crazy. I didn't want to put too much emphasis on the stats because we are going to look at the team in a minute. These guys here will be the focus for the next 3 days. All right, 52 and 42. Honestly, those changes appear to have worked. We're now 10 games over 500. That or the boys just decided to stop not living up to their potential. But those pitching changes seem to have helped quite a bit. And obviously, we have had really hit or miss pitching for a while now, as we still have people declining their contracts, which is not ideal. Dave Gonzalez, not looking like you're going to be signing anytime soon. Let's get more in. Let's work on Espinoza. Let's work on Espinoza a little bit more. AAA roster has too many players. So we go back to Chris Holman, send him back down to single. Done deal. There we go. What do we got? What do we got? Yusnel Espinoza. Declines again. Mr. Espinoza. You are throwing right now, my man. Eddie McCann. Signs. Thomas Medina. Signs. Sidekick. That guy into first here. 3 players left to sign from that draft class. This won 2 of our last 3 games. Espinoza. Signs. Let's go. Please be as good as advertised. Please. We have been fooled by pitchers before. One of them is on our roster right now. Let's see. Terrell Ford. Signs. So it's just catcher 6th round pick Dave Gonzalez that we're waiting for. No big deal if he signs or not. So we're up to, again, 10 games over 500. Dave Gonzalez will give you a lot of money. There we go. So we sign our entire draft class. But did our scouts have it right? We just lost 10-1 to Milwaukee. Milwaukee actually just swept us over the course of 4 games. Not great. Did we hit the mark? Did we deliver with these draft picks? Were the scouts right? The answer, at least with Yusnel Espinoza, the answer is yes. This guy is going to be insane. 19 years old, 65 overall, A potential, has great velocity already. That guy's going to be a problem. That guy's going to be a problem for a lot of people. Chad Jones. He only has 3 pitches, but Chad Jones projected to be undrafted. And our scouts say, no, Chad's the man. And our scouts were right. How's that for a 1-2 punch with picks 23 and 60? Three for 3. The trifecta. Eddie McCann, Chad Jones, and Yusnel Espinoza. Whoo! Goodness, goodness. Do you know if you keep your cards after the season? In terms of Diamond Dynasty, yes. Oh my God. Thomas Medina is also not bad. 49 overall is low, but he's 18 years old. Whoo! Terrell Ford. Low overall, but 19A for first baseman Terrell Ford. And then Damon Page, the reliever at the end. Probably won't ever make it. And then Dave Gonzalez, 18B and a low 44. That's, oh my God, Yusnel Espinoza. Whew. Doesn't quite have the generational starting overall. That is one hell of a draft. It's not often you'll see 4 A potential players in the same draft. But Espinoza, Jones, McCann, and Terrell Ford lead the way. That might be our best draft yet. I mean, after frickin' almost 20 attempts, you'd hope we'd figure out the system by now. Cardinals also looked to have had a pretty good draft. 4 B potential players for them. This might have just been... Oh my God, Arizona. Okay, I'm so sorry. There were a few saying, Arizona, let's go. Especially you, Bagel. They panicked after the other first baseman went early, or went first overall, and they choked. Wow, they did get Sammy Reyes and Sean Williams, but yikes. Can player velocity go up? Yes. An 18-year-old 76 overall right fielder with 98 potential, pick 30. That's a steal and a half. That's what that is. Colorado end up with Carlos Valencia, very good, and Patrick Montero, solid. Overall's a bit low at 21, but not bad. Dodgers with Fernando Gonzalez. Of course, the Dodgers get a good Fernando. They also end up with Francisco Manzanillo. So a decent little draft there for the Dodgers at the top. San Diego with Freddie McDermott, very solid player. Brian Mayfield. Derek Walker. Not bad. This is who the Diamondbacks are hoping to get. San Fran. Ooh, this draft. You got Joey Handy, Greg Halbrick, Casey Street, Phillip Mills. Has a monopoly on I's and L's. Well, hopefully not L's for Giants fans. Baltimore with James Mora at shortstop. Very good pick. He was their only really strong pick. Boston, Ollie Dempsey. Ollie Dempsey is such a Boston pitcher name. Really is. Yankees suck. Oh my God. Couldn't happen to a nicer franchise, right? Yikes. GG's, Yankees, GG's. Tampa ends up with TJ Blankenship. I'm glad we took who we took, but yeah, he would have been very, very good. That's a damn good pick for Tampa. Toronto, Kiki Cortez. I'm pretty sure he was drafted before we would have had a chance to take him, but what a pick for the Blue Jays, huh? That guy is insane. They also ended up with Forrest Ricks. The pride of Montgomery, Alabama, Forrest Ricks. White Sox with George Raymond. And right at the end of the draft, a steal in Vladimir Cabrera. Low overall, but damn good potential. Cleveland took Vincent Shawn in the top 3. He's phenomenal. Baseball fan, what's up? They also took that starting pitcher, Glenn James, and Francisco Tovar. Very good draft for Cleveland, at least at the top. Detroit. Jack Booker wasn't very good. They took Alonzo Lindstrom, Anthony Jackson, and James Key. So they rebounded pretty well from a bit of a meh first round pick. Kansas City. Oh, they're the ones ended up with Harmon, huh? They get Darren Bond and Owen Harmon. We didn't end up with. They also get right fielder Armando Ortega. Minnesota ending up with Chad Bennett and Barney Bloom. Very nice. Also, Will Willis. Houston with Carlos Pedrosa and Michael Delviar. Not bad. Angels get Mackenzie Hiller, Nate Valencia. So some starting or just pitching help in general. Athletics, Luis Perez, Daryl Chambers. Very good pick. And Corey Trejo. The bunting god, Corey Trejo. Seattle, they're a team. Seattle's a team. Texas with Randy Bauer, and that was about it. Atlanta with George Frederick, and that was it. Jesus, the rest of that draft, all these Marlins end up with Devin DeMonte as a closer. A lot of C potential guys, all C potential guys outside of that. So it's not really a bad draft, especially there were some decent OVRs in there. The New York Mets take another fat L, as is tradition. Philadelphia, emphasis on the L. They did rebound well with Kevin Eckert and Joe Williams, but not great for Philly. Washington. Got Johnny Cortez as a reliever. That's about it. Chicago. Pablo Castellano. Not bad, but their only really solid pick. Lou Bastafka is a great name, though. And Cincinnati end up with Henry Cairo, and that is about it. They also got Crush Davis Jr. Milwaukee with Dwight Kondo, and at the very end, Ellis Gorman. Very good first rounder. Come to see the Mets lose. The poor Mets. This draft was a fucking home run and a half for us. My God. The poor Mets will never escape the Family Guy meme of, and the season's over. Like, just, they'll never escape that, the poor guys. They'll never escape it.